And it is that time of year when Atlantic Canadians start planning trips. And to help us have everything prepared for smooth travel, we welcome back Julia Kent, the Director of Advocacy and Community Relations with our partners at CAA Atlantic. Julia, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to talk about travel insurance. Now, we admitted, and the three of hosts on the show, that we don't often think about getting travel insurance. We're like, skip, skip, skip. Why should we not be skipping the getting travel insurance when we book a trip?
Well, I think you're probably part of a large group of Atlantic Canadians that don't fully understand travel insurance. Yeah. So maybe this is why they're just saying, I don't need that. Or you're among the group of people that think, well, my credit card covers me for whatever I'm traveling on. And these are kind of the myths that we're hoping to dispel. So first and foremost, credit cards, you have to be really careful because they're all different and they all cover certain things and some not others. They all can, maybe they'll cover international travel, but not domestic travel. And one of the things that's a myth about travel insurance is that you do need it if you leave your home province. So there's things like an air ambulance, which can be very costly, that are not covered outside of your home province by your provincial health care. So these are things that you have to take in mind when looking at travel insurance.
Interesting. So that's really interesting that you really need to have travel insurance if you're leaving your home province.
That's it. And even if you're traveling within Canada, let's say you're taking a weekend trip to Vancouver, for example. Yeah. The premiums are very, very small, but you pay very little amount of money for a huge cost if something goes awry. And I think what it really comes down to when we're talking about travel insurance, no matter where you're traveling, is it's a bit of a risk if you travel without it, because if something terrible happens, you aren't protected. You don't have that peace of mind. And travel insurance really provides that peace of mind that if anything goes wrong, you are covered.
Okay, so there are three different types of travel insurance?
There is. Okay. So you can get emergency medical travel insurance, which is the most common type. This is what you really fear, I guess, if you go abroad. And it's going to cover you typically up to about $5 million, depending on the selection of your plan or whatever. If anything happens, it can range from an ambulance to x-rays to hearing aid to emergency surgery, all of those things. If you break a leg, if you have a heart attack, all these things. Then you can also get non-medical or trip interruption or cancellation insurance. It can also cover things like baggage. If you lose your baggage, those are really nice if you're worried about your trip being cut short for whatever reason or not being able to go. And then the last is a package plan. So this can be multi-trip, or it can be several destinations or anything like that. So it can be really comprehensive and include whatever it is that you're looking for. It's custom to your trip.
Okay, question. What if I'm just traveling by car? Is this really just for, say, auto and cruise, or rather plane and cruise?
It really depends. Okay. If you're outside of your home province, whether you travel, no matter how you traveled, if you traveled by cruise ship or by plane, by train, by car, it's all going to cover you depending on where you are outside of your home province. So it really doesn't matter how you travel.
Okay, so how do I get travel insurance?
Well, really important to talk to a reputable agency, to work with a travel advisor or associated professional that can really walk you through your options and really provide you with what is most applicable to your scenario and what will be most helpful for you in your scenario. Let's paint a picture for a second.
Yeah.
Let's imagine that you're in New York and you have a heart attack. If you have a heart attack in the U.S., you're looking at the care involved starts at about $250,000.
Wow.
So having that peace of mind, even if you don't feel that you're at risk, you could break a leg. That's very costly. It can start at about $70,000 if you're in the U.S. So these are the kind of things that we need to think about and know that the premiums can be very small for a huge amount of peace of mind.
So it starts with a phone call. Conversation, and then you can decide what you need. Okay, there is one more note I know you had for our viewers, which is about if there's a travel advisory, you need to be extra cautious.
Yes, so there's 4 different levels of travel advisories in Canada, and the government has a wonderful website that lists all countries with all their travel advisories. And you can have everything from, let's say we're traveling to Australia, which is just travel like normal, to exercise caution if you're traveling, to avoid non-essential travel, to avoid all travel. So right now, for example, Ukraine would be avoid all travel if possible. So you're going to see exclusions when you get to those level 3 and level 4, where they say avoid all non-essential travel or avoid all travel, period. So your travel insurance is not going to be able to cover those. I often say you can't buy house insurance for a house that's on fire. So if there's already known issues in your destination, travel insurance is going to be affected.
Yep, and the people who work at CAA actually know about these things.
They
and
do.
We say, hey, okay, well, you know what? Let's have a talk.
Yeah.
Let's think about your plans.
Let's know all the full picture, all your risks, and proceed from there.
All right, well, Julia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Julia Kent is with our partners at CAA. We put their website on ours. You can find out all the information you need to know about travel insurance and anything having to do with getting around.